of prison stories, man. These is lived experiences. Welcome back to the Swang Glow Podcast Show. Do Rock Creep. It's an absolute pleasure to be back here at this roundtable amongst my roundtable family. Salute to all of y'all that was able to make the live, and most definitely salute to all of y'all that's able to catch the live a little bit later. Now, look, before I jump into what I'm gonna jump into, please allow me this opportunity now to ask you all, if you haven't already did it, to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Swang Glow Podcast Show. Do Rock Creep. I will most definitely appreciate it. It helps us climb further into the algorithm, and that's always the goal. And as we climb further into the algorithm, guess what? Y'all get to take that journey with us by becoming part of the Roundtable family. So again, make sure y'all hit that subscription button, man. It's important. And I always encourage participation. You feel me? So, hey, if you have something of substance that you want to jump into the chat, and join in on the discussion, then please feel free. You feel me? I always encourage participation. Hey, my moderators is my co-hosts. They be on here having it popping. So I'm not the only one that comes to this roundtable and introduce things to the family. You feel me? But hey, I'm gonna tell you now, if you have any plans on jumping up in this live in the chat on anything negative, we got a place for you. I promise you that. And make sure y'all hit the notification bell also, man. So when we do these lives, or I just so happen to drop a random video, you'll be right there front and center. You won't miss a beat, and it won't charge you nothing. I promise you that. Salute to all of y'all that have already become part of the family. Now look, I'm going to take y'all back to the Los Angeles County Jail Crip module, 32-3400, right? Now, that section of the Los Angeles County Jail is where they placed all the hardest of the hardest gang members, Crips, from all over the Los Angeles County, right? And we had Baker and Denver Road, right? The Crips. Now, the guys that was down on Baker Road was all the gangsters, so to say, right? You had the A-Trays, you had the Do-Rocks, you had the Hoovers, you had the Avalons, you had Compton Crips, you had Watts Crips. Can't forget you had the homie Baby L Dog in there from Westside 99 Mafia. The Insanes, the Long Beach Insanes, and so on and so forth, right? Then upstairs on Denver Road, that's where all the neighborhood Crips was at. From the rolling 60s to the rolling 40s to the Harlems to the East Coast Crips to anything that's neighborhood affiliated. You had them upstairs, right? Now, I have to tell y'all, man, that you had some of the most dangerous gang members housed in that Crip module. And every day, it was something going on with somebody in there. Whether somebody was getting stabbed, whether it was random fights, whether it was us taking off on the police, you name it, it was happening up in there. Okay, now look, this was during the years of 1995 that I'm talking about. Okay, now look, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat too, man. Y'all know I'm get into what I'm gonna get into. Then I'm gonna address everybody in my chat. You know what I'm saying? Not chat. My roundtable family. Excuse me. I'm gonna address everybody in my roundtable family. I'm not ignoring anybody. Salute to everybody that's making comments, man. I'm gonna get to all of y'all in a minute, right? So look, this 1995, right? Now, one of the incidents that happened in there that happened to be a standout was this situation that occurred upstairs. Right now, I'm not gonna say no hood, right? I'm not gonna say no names. However, remember I told you all the guys that was upstairs on Denver Road was all neighborhood Crips and neighborhood affiliates, right? So bam, I remember this one time, they right up above us, right? We hear scuffling going on. So anytime you hear some scuffling going on, everybody in there like shh, 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 and everybody in there listening, right? So you hear the scuffling going on up there. and you hear dudes talking shit, right? So bam, what was going on was the guys upstairs was tying up one of the guys that was in the cell with him, right? They tied him up, right? Something that the guy that got tied up took great offense to. Now let me tell y'all about this tie-up thing. How dudes would get caught up in that happening to them, right? Typically, the conversation to come up about dudes getting tied up, and it's almost like dudes are sitting around waiting for somebody in that crowd to say that they can't be tied up, right? That's the number one mistake that you could ever make by saying that. Oh, I can't be tied up and this and that, right? So bam, we got one of my homies like that, right? And the cold thing about it, he was the oldest one out of all Do-Rock Crips that was in there at that time. He was the oldest one, so I guess he felt like it wasn't gonna happen to him, and the way he was boating, I'm talking about he's pacing back and forth in the cell with his chest out, like, yeah, nigga, I can't be tied up, nigga, and this and that. All y'all my young homies and this and that, right? So me and the homies, we looking at each other and we telling him like, hey, bro, like you better sit down with all that, bro. Anybody can be tied up, right? Nigga, I can't be tied up and woo woo wham, right? So while he's saying this, one of my other homies is in the cut. He already started making the ropes. Now, what we made ropes out of, we would take a sheet and tear a sheet. We'd tear 3 thick pieces of long string, about this thick, right? And braid them together, right? Real tight. So now, once you do that, you got a real strong rope, right? So bam, he's down there already getting cracking on it. In the meantime, we just letting this dude talk. I think this particular incident, we up in there striking up on the walls and shit, right? Doing graffiti on the walls. So he took this opportunity to jump out there and say that while we doing this. So we already on one, right? So like, all right, you can't be tied up. All right, bam. Look at the homie. The homies look at me like, yeah, we gonna get him. Don't even trip. Bam, we rope him up. Right? I told that story before, as a matter of fact. We roped his ass up. He got done bad. So anyway, so bam, back to the guys upstairs. So they up there tying up one of the dudes that's in the cell with him, right? Right? He took great offense to that. So bam, depending on who it is, right, it's going to determine how long you're going to be tied up. Sometimes you get tied up and you get put in a fart sack, right? For those of y'all that don't know what a fart sack is, I've described that before on another show where I talked about these type of incidents happening. But a fart sack is a sheet that's almost, it's a human-sized pillowcase, put it that way, right? Where you take a couple of sheets and you basically sew these sheets together, right? So you can fit a human body up in there, and it comes up to your neck, and then it's tied around your neck, right? And usually it'll be grease and baby oil, and it's wet. So when you put up in there, you just slipping and sliding around like a fish out of water, right? And you're tied up, and you're hog tied on top of that when you're thrown in that fart sack. So when you get done like that, you hog tied, you get through in the fart sack, right? You flopping around like a fish, right? And you'll get either thrown under the bunk, right? And you're left there for however long. It can be an hour, it can be two hours, it can be 3 hours. I remember we did this one dude like that, and we had to tie him up we had to have him standing up, right? This was so cold. When we doing like that, he's inside the fart sack, tied up, but we had him standing up and tied up to the bed rails on the side of the bed. When we had to do him like that because the police was gonna come by for count. So when that happened, we all stand around him, right? So when the police come by for count, he's just standing. All they can see is the top of his head, and all of us are standing around him, blocking the fart sack that he's in, right? That's how we do him. So anyway, it's a number of different things that can happen to you when you get put in that fart sack. So anyway, upstairs, they do this guy like that, right? which he took great offense to. Can't play with everybody, bro. Y'all got to remember, all of us that was in that Crip module back then, with the exception of a couple, was all young. I'm talking about from 19 years old, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. You feel me? Probably the oldest dudes that was up in there at that time had to be probably like 27, 28. You feel me? I can't remember how old Big Mad Bone from A Tray Gangster was at that time, but he was one of the oldest dudes that was in there. So was Big Hoover Gus, right? From 107 Hoover, who we call Debo, was no joke at all. Shout out to both of those guys, Big Hoover Gus from 107 Hoover. Shout out to Big Mad Bone from A Tray Gangster. Who else? It was a couple of other older dudes in there at that time. Big Crazy Drac from Schoolyard, rest in peace. He was another older homie that was in there at that time. It was only a handful of old dudes. All the rest of us young, right? In our early 20s. So it was a lot of this stuff going on, right? So bam, anyway, these guys tied this dude up upstairs, throw him in the fart sack and all that, and left him in that fart sack for hours. We hear all this going on, right? So he's telling them, man, y'all better let me out this shit. Y'all better let me out and this and that. They up there laughing, hee and the ha-ha, right? Like we would normally do when something like that happened. Bam. They left him tied up for about 3 or 4 hours. Bam. So finally, when they let him out the fart sack and out the ropes, you know, he played it off so cool. He just rocked them to sleep. Play it off cool. You feel me? Bam. Now it's time to go to sleep. Right? So all those guys up there, he even hopped in the bed and act like he was going to sleep, right? So all those guys that was up there, right? Everybody go to bed. Right? So bam. The guy that got tied up peeked from up under them blankets. Oh, you sleep, you sleep, you sleep, you sleep. Okay. Bam. This fool hop out his bunk, had 2 knives, right? Hopped out his bunk and stabbed all those dudes in their sleep, right? And had them, look, he stabbed each and every one of those people that was in the cell with him, right? True facts, true story. Bam. Now, as a matter of fact, 2 of the guys that was in that cell was brothers, and then they had a cousin also that was in there, right? So you have 3 family members that's in one cell that ended up getting stabbed up. You know what I'm saying? So, bam, after he stabbed them up, he take their mattresses. He was able to do all this shit by himself, right? He take their mattresses, he take their sheets, he take their blankets, he take everything, and he got them in the cell hostage, right? Now, and everybody that's on the tier upstairs and downstairs hear all this shit, right? So now you got different people that's upstairs. The neighborhood's right. They trying to talk dude into giving up his knives, right? Which was the absolute worst thing that he could have listened to, right? And he had them held hostage up in that cell for just as long as they had him tied up, right? And you hear him like, man, just drop the knife, just let us get a fair one. You know what I'm saying? Just put the knives up and this and that and blah blah blah, right? He wasn't having it. So finally, a couple of dudes outside the cell, other neighborhood Crips that was up there, they getting at him, right? And after probably another couple of hours of trying to talk him out of what he was doing, this idiot gave up his knives. Right? Gave up his knives. Right? Bam. Hey, when those knives went outside that cell, right? Bam. Bro, they beat the shit out this dude. I'm talking about to the point where they didn't just beat him, they stabbed him up too, right? Bam. But the beating was so vicious. We thought they was finna kill him. They had already killed one up there. On the day we was coming in there, they was dragging the body out. They was dragging a body out that motherfucker on the day we went in the Crip module. Not gonna say where he was from, but he was a Crip. He was a neighborhood Crip. He was upstairs. So bam, that was a very, very extremely dangerous environment. Like I said, you had dudes from all walks of life. You know what I'm saying? All walks of life, bro. So bam, they beat this dude so bad, bro. Imagine this. Now, this right here is a top bunk, right? This is a top bunk, right? So you had dudes jumping off this top bunk. They had him down on the floor, down here, right? They jumping off the top bunk on this dude's head, trying to crush his head in. This is how bad and vicious that beating was that they gave this dude for doing what he did. And they stabbed him multiple times, right? So now you got other neighborhood Crips up there. They trying to get him to stop. Nigga, y'all gonna kill him. Stop. Stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stop. He had enough, right? It took a lot to get them to stop doing what they was doing to him. Point blank, period. And he survived. He didn't die, but he was that close to it. They dragged his limp body up out of there, man, and he was unrecognizable. You feel me? These guys, they suffered some stab wounds from him, but hey, the get back was extremely cold, vicious, and ugly. Point blank, period. Right? You had that incident. Bam. Then you had another guy who was also upstairs. Right? Not gonna say where he was from, but I think he was in that cell getting bullied by the people that he was in the cell with. You feel me? And I think this was happening to this dude like repeatedly, like every day. You know what I'm saying? So bam. Bam. I remember them calling the chain. Now, what I mean by the chain is when you're on your way to prison and you're leaving the Los Angeles County Jail, right? That's what the chain is. They're going to call the names of everybody that's finna leave up out of there and going to prison. So, bam, they call this dude out. He's on his way to prison, right? Bam. He pack up all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, in the Crip module, we used to make stink bombs, right? A stink bomb consists of a carton of milk. We would typically empty out half a carton of milk, right? And then we would let the other half of that milk sit inside the milk carton for probably a good couple of weeks, right? After the couple of weeks, then we would piss in it. Put some piss up in it, human piss, right? Let it sit for another couple of weeks, right? So anytime the police got on some bullshit or a faulty porter that we didn't like would come down the tier, or even if see this how it worked in the Crip module. You couldn't be just no anybody walking down that tier. Usually we wanted, if it wasn't no Crip that was serving us or food, we didn't you wasn't able to come down that tier safe. That's a fact, right? So let's just say if somebody came down that tier that wasn't supposed to be down there, they finna get hit with those stink bombs or stabbed. We've done all that, right? So bam, they got stink bombs up there in that cell. So the bullying that this guy was suffering during his time up there with them, he waited, right? They call him for the chain. He pack up all this stuff, bam. Says goodbyes to everybody that was in the cell with him. Bam. They open up the gate. He walk out the cell. He wait for them to close the gate. Bam. Lock the gate. When they lock that gate, he grab a couple of those stink bombs and throw it on all those niggas that he was just in the cell with. Right? Throw it on all, right? Start dissing, all that, right? Now again, I'm not gonna say where this person was from, and I'm not going to say where the people was from that he did this to. However, if you're upstairs, that means it's somebody downstairs you don't get along with, and vice versa, right? So bam, when he do that to the dudes that he was just in the cell with, the sheriff see this. Now this is how cold and scandalous the sheriff is. right? When the sheriff see him do that, they like, nah. We taking you off the chain for that shit. Take your ass back in that cell, right? So he like, what? They like, we're taking you off the chain, and they could do that. The sheriff could do that. They was known it, man. They would take you off that chain so fast. You think you finna go somewhere? You know what I mean? You ain't finna go nowhere. When he did that, they like, nah, take it back in the cell. He like, man, I can't go back in there. I can't go back in there. My life is in jeopardy. I can't go back in there. So all the neighborhood Crips like, take your buster ass back in there, nigga. Take your buster ass back in there, right? He like, no, I ain't going back up in there. I ain't going back up in there. He cried for mama, right? So finally the sheriff like, all right, bring your ass off the tier. Come here, right? Where y'all think they put him? Right? So bam, when they snatched this fool off that top tier, we hear him saying, hey, you finna to go downstairs. You don't want to go back in that cell? You going downstairs. This is how cold they are. The sheriff, cold, right? So he like, downstairs? Either you're going in that cell or you're going downstairs. Nigga, choose your poison, right? So when us downstairs hear this, hey man, you hear knives. You hear niggas like, oh yeah, we got us a free one all day. Yeah, bring him up in here. Bring him up in here. We got a bed for him. Bring him up in here, right? Bam. Now, I ain't gonna say what cell he ended up in. Right? I ain't gonna say, right? But just put it this way, man. The people that he ended up in that cell with, right? Right. All my niggas. I'm just gonna say all my niggas, right? So they finna. This is dinner. They finna eat off this dude. Imagine like when you watching National Geographics, right? And you see all the fucking lions, right? Eating on a carcass. They all eating this motherfucker at one time, right? That's how he was finna be in that cell. Right? So bam. He get down there, he get up in that cell, immediately called OSJ. OSJ is Operation Safe Jail. Those are the people that control the gang modules. You know what I'm saying? This fool he called the police, man, and oh my God. So he was only in there for like a couple of seconds and they ended up getting his ass up out of there. You feel me? Got him up out of there. He wasn't there long at all before they was even able to eat. Because trust me, they was finna eat. Point blank period, right? Bam, that situation happened. Another situation take place, right? Also upstairs. Now, it was I'm not going to say this guy's name. Of course, he was affiliated with the neighborhoods. He's upstairs, right on top of us. Now, all of us know this guy's voice. Everybody knew each other's voice up in there, right? Basically, the dudes that used to be in there rapping and shit. We knew his voice distinctively because he used to be one of the ones that would be rapping over the tier, right? Damn, I don't know what made this fool do this, right? But just one day out of the blue, you hear, fuck, whoop-de-whoop-whoop. Right? Bam. So niggas like, what? What the fuck? Then he said again, fuck, whoop-de-whoop-whoop. Right? Now, everybody downstairs, everybody, you don't hear a peep. Right? So, bam, we like, you hear what this nigga whoop-de-whoop just said? We all know it's him. Mind you, he's right upstairs from us, man. He's right upstairs from us. Now, the gang that he dissed, it's about 20 of these niggas in there. Right? So it seemed like almost like seconds after he did that and it got quiet, all of a sudden the sheriff just opened up the whole bottom tier. Pow, 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 pow. Right? Everybody and their mama stepped out their cell, right? Niggas stepped out the cell and they looking upstairs like, cuz, who said that? Who said that, right? And I'm not putting no extras on it. The dudes up there like, we didn't say it. It wasn't us. We didn't say it, nigga. Who said that shit? Who said it? Right? Nobody wanted to admit to it. But we knew who said it. Right? We knew who said it. So when that person was confronted, he putting it on his hood, his dead homies, and all that shit, right? I didn't say it, cuz. I didn't say it. This nigga lying like a motherfucker. Right? So bam, as fate would have it, you got to go to court, bro. I told y'all how those court tanks are in the Los Angeles County Jail. Hey, King Grover, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Right? But just put it this way, it was extremely close to home, bro. It was extremely close to home. Just put it that way, right? So bam. The court tanks, hey, that's where all the BS happened at. If you got an issue coming, that's where you gonna get it at. Right? As fate would have it, this nigga go to court. He got to go to court that day. They throw him in a tank full of the people that he dissed. You talking about chow time. The only thing that saved this dude, right? The only thing that saved this dude's life. You had one guy that was down there on that tier with us, right? One guy, right? Who I have to this day, to this very day, I have the greatest love and respect for to this day. I've talked about him on the show. I said his name and all that before, right? Right? All love and respect in the world for this guy. This guy, right, was very, very extremely influential amongst his homeboys and all of us in there. Put it that way, right? That's who saved this dude. That's who saved him. Because when he walked up in that tank, oh yeah, nigga, you done. You done? Oh, I didn't do it. Wait, man, I didn't do it. What's that? Nah, nigga, we know it was you. Right? That one person stepped up and saved that man's life. Oh yeah, he ran some fades. He was given that. He was given that. Right? Only because of this one guy that stepped up and saved him, bro. If that person wasn't in that tank, he would have died in there. Period. Period. Because he did this bullshit. Bro, for one, y'all upstairs, we downstairs. The only time we gonna be able to get to each other is going to court or in the visiting room. The visiting room was another spot where niggas used to get got. That's why we used to carry the handcuff keys in our mouth all the time. You had to. When you go to one of these spots, you got to have your handcuff key and you got to have your knife on you. If you ain't got your handcuff key and your knife, you're done. You're done. Point blank, period. And I promise you, every time the do-rocks went out, man, anybody that was in there with us will tell you. Anybody that was in that Crip module would tell you. And we went out deep every time. It wasn't no 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. It was 15 of my homies in there. And we made sure all the homies got pulled out. Because if one go, all of us won. That was just how we was pushing. You feel me? So we used to always go to visiting deep. And every time we got out there, bam, come that handcuff key. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be me. It's going to be me with the handcuff key, Blue Rag, or probably the homie Tutu, right? We got our handcuff keys, bro. So we going down the whole line, handcuffing all the homies. If it get cracking up in this motherfucker with anybody, nigga, it's going down. That's just the way it is. And we caught a couple of niggas slipping up in there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say no names, right? But you know, yeah, had they ass up in that motherfucker shaking like, hey, yeah, came right out them handcuffs. What's cracking? What's up, homie? What you mean? What's up? What's happening? Oh shit, ain't nobody on the trying to enjoy my visit. All right, well enjoy your visit, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. So, you know, it went down in there. And, I mean, shit, just like how we did that, we could have got done like that, too. It could have happened to anybody, and it did. It did. You feel me? Like I told you, it was some very, very dangerous dudes in that Crip module from everywhere. From the neighborhoods, to the gangsters, to the Hoovers, to the Long Beaches, to the Compton and Watts. It was some very hey, like I told you about the homie Baby L Dog, you know what I'm saying? From West Side 99 Mafia Crip, right? Baby L Dog's a very short guy. Baby L Dog probably about 5'6", you know what I'm saying? But extremely dangerous, right? That's a fact, right? I've seen him stab multiple people, straight up. But look, we get in there, right? We get in the Crip module. Baby L Dog's in the cell with the do-rocks. It was him and I told this story, right? But when we get in there, like I told you, I've been knowing Baby L Dog, man, since we was 18 years old. My first time coming to prison, his first time coming to prison, right? So bam, that's my bro, right? So I remember this one day we up in there, and me and him talking. I'm showing him pictures and all that. I'm like, you got some pictures, bro? He's like, yeah, I just got some pictures of my baby mama and my little daughter. I'm like, oh, okay. So bam, that's up on the person if they want to show you their pictures or not. It ain't a situation you press like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's my bro. I ain't tripping. So bam, he ended up getting called out for a visit right after that, right? So when Baby L Dog go out for his visit, I hop in the bed and lay down. I'm getting ready to go to sleep. So it's another guy in the cell with us, right? Who wasn't from Do-Rock, who wasn't from 99 Mafia, right? Bam. He wait for Baby L Dog to leave though, right? So he got some pictures. He just don't want you to see the motherfuckers. I'm like, huh? He got some pictures of his ugly ass baby mama and his ugly ass daughter. I'm like, hey bro, I'm like, why you talking about bro family like that, homie? He like, no, it ain't like that. I'm just saying though, you know, he don't never show them us. So what? That's on him. If he don't want nobody to see the pictures, that's on him, bro. I'm like, but you talking about his family? That's some foul ass shit, right? He's like, no, it ain't. But see, this dude, he had Baby L Dog fucked up. I'm telling you off the top, he did, right? So after he said that, after me and him had our confrontation, I don't want to talk to you no more, nigga. I'm cool, right? So I hop in the bed, I go to sleep. But the whole time while me and that dude was having that back and forth, right? One of my homies is over in the cut listening. He not liking that shit at all. You feel me? So bam, I hop in the bed, I go to sleep. Right? And when I wake up, apparently Baby L Dog had came back from his visit. And when Baby L Dog came back from his visit, one of my homies that's over in the cut that was listening to me and this fool had us back and forth, right? Told Baby L Dog what this nigga said about his baby mama and his little daughter, right? So bam, Baby L Dog called over to the next cell, right? Call over to the next cell and got a knife. Man, hey, you talk about a bone crusher. The knife looked like it was bigger than Baby L Dog, right? Look, so when I wake up, I'm woken up by get your bitch ass off the bed, right? Bitch ass nigga, get your bitch ass off the bed. Punk ass nigga, right? So I pull the blankets from over my face, and I had, you know, in there we had curtains going around our bed, right? So I pull the blankets from over my face, and I open my little curtain, and I'm looking out like that, right? I see Baby L Dog standing in the middle of the cell with this big ass knife. The knife looked like it was bigger than him. Mind you, I told you, Baby L Dog a short guy, right? This big ass knife in his hand with blood and shit dripping all off of it, right? I'm like, what the fuck, right? And then I look up and I see the guy that was talking about his family on the top bunk, standing up. He was also short too. This guy that got stabbed up, he was also short. He's standing up on the top bunk, in the corner like this, bleeding everywhere, bleeding all over the place, right? Out his head, his face, all over the place, right? Yeah, King Grover, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about, Brody. So look, this nigga is in the corner like this. Oh, no, get your bitch ass off the bunk, you bitch ass. Now look, this guy that disrespected the homie's family, Like I said, he had Baby L Dog fucked up. Baby L Dog played this dude, bro. Um, they had a confrontation one time in there before all this happened, and this dude roared up on Baby L Dog, and and he told Baby L Dog some shit like you nigga, you a little nigga, and whoopty whoopty wham, right? Like went big on him. So Baby L Dog like, so what you want me to do? You want me to roll my shit up and leave the cell? So so when he, mind you, I know Baby L Dog. I know how dangerous he is, right? So when he say that, that threw me off. I'm like, what the fuck? But he's planning. He's planning. He already had it in his head he was gonna get him. But when that shit happened with this nigga talking about his family, that was the icing on the cake. So bam, look. So fast forward, when I pull the blankets from over my face and I peek out the curtain and I see all this shit going down, he's stabbed up everywhere and he's up there on that top bunk in the corner. No, I ain't getting out the. I'm not getting out the bed. Fuck that shit, cuz you got that big ass key, so I ain't getting out there. He like, yeah, you bitch ass nigga, we the same size now, ain't we, bitch ass nigga? We the same size now. Get your bitch ass off the bed, nigga, right? Now, while all this is going on, right? My homie that was over in the cut, that was listening to everything, that ended up telling Baby L Dog what this dude had said about his family, he's on the phone. He had his bed was right next to where the phone was at. Right? So he's on the phone. Right? Hoover Gumby, what's up, bro? Oh my God. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. That's my bro right there. That's my bro. Hey, Gumby, I know you remember this. I know you remember this incident, bro. And I know you know who I'm talking about. But look, so Baby L Dog is trying to get him out the bed. He won't get out the bed. I miss you too, bro. I love you too, bro. For real shit. Real shit, Hoover Gumby. So bam, look. So he won't get out the bed, right? So while all this is going on, my homie is on the phone with Baby L Dog's baby mama, giving her a whole. I swear to God, this is exactly how this shit played out. He giving her a whole play-by-play. He stabbed the bitch ass nigga up. He won't get out the bunk. Yeah. The whole time, and this nigga, he's this type of nigga that's always beating on his head. Always beating on his head. So he on the phone. He got the phone right here with this, and he beating on his head. Yeah, bitch ass nigga won't get out the bed. He stabbed the shit out that bitch ass nigga. Yeah. He finna make that nigga get on the phone and apologize to you right now, right? So bam. Absolutely. Hey, Hoover Gumby, come on, bro. Man, hey, I'm gonna get to that in a second. So look. Baby L Dog like, get your bitch ass on the phone, nigga, and apologize to my wife right now, nigga. Right? So my homie handed him the phone. He's like, I ain't getting out the bed, though. He's like, you ain't got to get out the bed, you bitch ass nigga. Get on the phone and apologize to my wife right now, bitch ass nigga, before I stab your ass again, right? So bam. He grabbed the phone. Excuse me, I just wanna apologize for whatever I did. So Baby L Dog like, you bitch ass nigga, tell her what you did. I disrespected you and your beautiful daughter and this and that and blah blah blah, right? I'm like, God damn, this is crazy as a motherfucker, right? So after he do that, he's still on that top bunk. So bam. Now I get up. I'm like, this shit crazy, right? So Baby L Dog is still trying to get him off the bunk. So now it's finna be count time, right? So Baby L Dog telling him like, nigga, if you don't want to get out the bunk, nigga, get your bitch ass out the cell, nigga. You gotta leave, nigga. You can't stay in here with me, nigga. I'll kill your bitch ass in here, right? Just like that. So bam. He like, all right, I'll leave the cell, homie, but I'm not getting out the bed. So the guy that got stabbed, he's still in that corner. So he's up there tearing up all kind of sheets and t-shirts, and he's trying to tie down this stab wound. This nigga look like Rambo. He has so much shit tied around all over his body, right? I bullshit you not. So bam. So he asks my homie, he like, can I sit on your bed until the police come? Right? So my homie like, can you sit on my bed? He like, hell no, nigga. He like, no man, I'm not getting off the, I'm not getting off the top bunk. I'm not getting off the top bunk and until the police come, right? He like, go ahead, nigga. He like, just don't get none of that shit on my bed, right? So bam, he walked from it's two bunks. Look, it's two it's two bunks here in the back of the cell. Then right behind those is two more right here, right? That's near the front of the cell, the front door, and then it's two on this side where I'm at, right? So this nigga walked from this top bunk over to the jumped over to the next one, right? And stayed up on that top bunk until the police came, right? So when the police came, right, this little motherfucker we call Fireball, right, had red hair. He the one what the whole ride between us and the police started, right? Fireball come through. So bam, when he come through, he like, excuse me, officer, hey, I can't be in here no more. I got to get up out of here. My life is in danger. The nigga's like, what? No, I just can't be in here no more. So Fireball was like, man, I ain't trying to. He like, no, officer, I can't be in here no more. Please let me out. I can't be in here no more, right? So finally the police, he looked at him and he seen all the patches and the blood and all this shit, right? So bam. So bam. He like, all right, so bam, the police go down the tier. He opened up our cell. Dude hop out the bunk real fast and shoot up out that motherfucker, right? So bam, when he shoot up out of there, now we on the bars looking down the tier where he at, and we see him down there like telling the police all kind of shit. So we like, damn, we got to get all these knives out the cell because they finna come smash us for sure, right? In which they did, right? So bam. After that, they come tear our cell up and all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So this dude left out of there saying that the Durocs is the ones that stabbed him up. Right? I swear to God, he telling all his homies this bullshit, right? So anyway, yeah, man, that happened, bro. That's a true fact. Huh? No. He didn't pass away. At least I ain't heard that. I don't think so, bro. Um, this is my bro Hoover Gumby, y'all. Checking Ain't Cheating podcast. Hey, man. See, Hoover Gumby was in the Crip module with me. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, Hoover Gumby was like a couple of cells down from us. Yeah. He, I haven't heard that. I got his young homie, Tiny Tick, on my IG. You feel me? He was up there in High Desert with us. You know what I'm saying? In which we ended up getting into a riot up there, and he stabbed the shit out of dude. You know? Oh man, hey bro. Oh my God. Hey, man. Yeah, Hoover Gumby was like a couple of cells down from us, bro. Now let me tell y'all something. I wanted to tell this story about Hoover Gumby, right? Now, hey, yeah, for sure. Now look, I'll be tripping on a lot of people on this app, right? On the YouTube app. Because people really be having dudes fucked up. I swear to God. I've said this before. I will say it again, right? But look, everything y'all see Hoover Gumby pushing the way that he do, that's really him. Like I've said it before, I will say it again. That's really him, bro. Now look, we in the Crip module. And like I said, Hoover Gumby a couple of cells down from us, right? Hoover Gumby really is a Hoover guy, through and through, uncut. You know what I'm saying? So bam, I remember, hey Gumby, you remember when you and Cricket got in that fight? right. Hoover Gumby getting in the fight in there, right? And yeah, bro. Hey, he get in the fight with Cricket from Insane. Cricket was from Insane. Right? Now, all that got pumped up All that got pumped up, yeah. All that got pumped up by G Lottie from Insane, right? They in there pushing the Hussein, you know. Gumby like, nigga, this Hoover. Point blank period. Nigga, this Hoover. Right? So, you know, Lottie, I guess he got offended by that. You know what I'm saying? So he like, nigga, what you mean? He's like, nigga, just what I said. Nigga, this is Hoover, nigga. Right? All that other shit I'm not with, nigga, this is Hoover. So bam. So Lottie is telling the nigga Cricket, because Cricket was in the cell with Gumby, right? Like, nigga, you in the cell with him, nigga, and you let him say this and say that and blah, 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 nigga, right? Nigga, y'all better get it in, nigga. So Gumby like, what? So all you hear is right? They down there getting it in, right? Bam. Gumby whooping from head to feet, whooping, right? So bam. They not liking the outcome of that. So Lottie like, man, Lottie like, what the fuck? He said, that's in the book. Hey, see? So y'all know I'm not lying. So look, bro. Bam. They not liking the outcome of that. So Lottie like, nigga, run that back, nigga. So you hear whoop him again. Right? So bam. He said his book come out in December. Oh, okay, for sure, man. I definitely got to get that. Hey, so bam. Gumby whoop him again, right? So Lottie and that motherfucker mad, right? Lottie like, nigga, he like, nigga, what the fuck, nigga? He said, nigga, we don't do nothing in deuces. Nigga, trade that shit up, right? So you hear him fight again. Gumby whooping for a third time, right? I'm talking about he. Oh, I made the book. That's what I'm talking about, bro, for sure. I'm definitely getting that. I swear to God. Yeah, Gumby from Hoover, y'all. Hey, so look, Gumby whooping for a third time. Now these niggas hot. Now in the cell with Lottie, you had Lottie. You had Tomboy, you had Seaway, you had Baby Spoon from A-Tray, you had Baby Sleep from A-Tray, right? And you had some of my homies in there, right? Bam. Then in the cell with Gumby now, you had Cricket. I think one of them, Cartoon from Hoover. Cartoon from 5'9" Hoover, I think, was in the cell with Lottie and them, I think, right? But man, hey, bro. Yeah. And Cartoon, yeah, right? You had tall ass Cartoon, right? At that time, Cartoon tall as a motherfucking skinny. They tie him up, bro. They tie him up to the boards, right? And just beat his body. So when they do that, Gumby and them like, oh, that's how y'all niggas want to play it? Right? So what y'all think they did? They beat the shit out of Cricket and them, bro. Right? So you have these two cells going back and forth. I'm like, these niggas crazy. Yeah, bro, I remember that shit. You know I do, bro. You feel me? Hey, come on, man. You know I remember everybody who was in there. Baby Ricochet from 5'9". Big Evil from A-Tray. That's Big Bro right there. Man, come on, Bubs. I remember everybody that was in that motherfucker, Brody. You feel me? Everybody. Hey, Gumby, I be telling people all the time. I've talked about you a number of times on here, right? When we was in Calipatria, in the hole, right? Where I told people that's where I used to get all my reading material. This guy had close to 1,000 books, if not more, inside his cell, right? I tell people all the time, like, man, I don't know why y'all are underestimating that man. Dude is extremely intelligent. That's where I used to get all my reading material from. You feel me? And the way that we had it set up in there, Gumby really had all the juice, bro. The way we had it set up in there was like we was all on the same roll. Me, Gumby, the homie Stutterbox from Angelo's. Like we was lined up. So my role was Like you had the hole, you had the real hole, then you had the whole overflow, right? So when anytime they needed, like somebody was fresh coming in the hole and they needed a sale, they had it set up. Gumby them had it set up to where I would give my sale up and I would go over to the whole overflow. But when I go over to the whole overflow, I'm going to pick up everything. I'm going to pick up all the weed. Everything that we was able to get. I'm going over there and get. I go over there and stay for a few days. You know what I'm saying? And then I get pulled right back over to my cell. Whoever they moved in there, they're gonna move him on. So we did that. Oh man, we had a cold ass setup in there. You know what I'm saying? But Gumby, that's where I used to get all my reading material. You feel me? Everything. Bro had thousands of books in that motherfucker, and he read all of them. And anytime when I go and replace, I get like a couple of books from him and shit. He read all these books. So he's gonna ask you about the book. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way that we passed our time. We did a whole bunch of reading, a whole bunch of studying, bro. And you know what I'm saying? This happened to be a genuine guy, bro. Real smart, real intelligent. You feel me? He said, "They don't know, bro. That's real. Hey, Gumby, I'm telling you, bro." And this was during the times where you didn't have TVs and shit in the hole. You didn't have no TVs. You didn't have no radios. You didn't have no tablets. They wasn't giving us none of that shit. The only thing that we had to occupy our time in that motherfucker was books, reading material. And this is how much of a visionary Gumby was, right? Bro had it in his mind. He already had the seed planted on getting into the music business and all that, right? Now, I told y'all I rapped. You know what I'm saying? And he knew that. So we had a thing set up where I was gonna do some music with bro. You know what I'm saying? He had the whole everything already plotted out way back then. This is during hard times, nigga, in the hole, man. You know what I'm saying? But this is how much of a visionary bro was. When I tell y'all how intelligent he is, don't underestimate the shit. Don't get the YouTube shit. Don't get none of that twisted, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you now. Smart, intelligent dude. That's a fact. Hey, Gumby, I love you, homie. For real, for real. You know that. I love you, bro. I can't wait for that book to come out, too, because I'm definitely getting that. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I love chocolate. I send my love and respect to you, sis. Trucker G. What up, Brody? Glad you was able to make the live. Send my love and respect to you. Wizard, what's up, man? Where you been at, bro? I'm glad you made the live, though. Salute to you. The Making of a Man TV. What's up, Brody? Rich? Glad you was able to make the live. Send my love and respect to you. The wonderful, beautiful Miss Golden. My beautiful woman and co-host. I send my love and respect to you. Jake Brown, what up, Brody? Glad you was able to make the live. I send my love and respect to you as well. King Groover, you already know I love you, bro. All love, all love, all love. Santos. J-Dub, what's up, Brody? I send my love and respect to you. Glad you was able to make the live. Jackson Darrell, what's up, Brody? Send my love and respect to you as well. I don't know what. Hey, Jackson. I don't know what he talking about with that. Matter of fact, let me take that shit up out of here, man. We don't do that. We don't do that. Oops. Hold on. Damn it! I'm pushing the wrong button. Yeah, we don't do that. Martin Jones, what's up, Brody? Glad you was able to make the live. ODR, what up, bro? Glad you made the live. My nigga Gumby, man. D say, where you at? Cuz that's the wrong question, bro. I'm glad you were able to make the live. Salute to you, but we don't ask questions like that, homie. If you know, you know. Amazing expectations. I send my love and respect to you as well. Glad you was able to make the live. Salute to you, Brody. This nigga asked the same question again. You know what? That's some police ass shit. So guess what? Bye. Earn strap alone. Salute. Glad you was able to make the live, Brody. Salute to you. Send my love and respect. Dalmo Robbins, my Brody. Send my love and respect to you as well. Glad you was able to make the live, homie. Bro say I'm in Hoover though. For sure, for sure. HD, the classic. Glad you was able to make the live, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to Dago as well. Salute, salute. Salute to everybody that was able to make the live, man. Hey, but yeah, bro. Hey, man. Like I've been telling y'all, you had a lot of legendary people that was in that gang module. You know what I'm saying? And Hoover Gumby is definitely one of them, bro. You know what I'm saying? I remember reading about his case before I even went into the Crip module. You know what I'm saying? And then once I got in the Crip module, that's when we officially met at. You know what I mean? Shit, we ended up meeting back up in prison, Calipatria. You know, in the hole, I was in and out the hole a number of times and shit. While he was back there fighting what he was fighting. So each and every time I went back there to the hole, you know what I'm saying? Bro was always there, always had a spot for all the homies that was back there, you know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of my reading material, got a lot of game from bro, we had a lot of stuff set up, man, so it was great seeing him get out. It was great seeing bro get out, man, and do his thing, for real, for real. It always is great to see somebody that I personally know get out this horrible situation, man, and pick up the pieces back to their life, and continue their greatness. You feel me? And here it is, bro. Got a book. I can't wait for that book to come out. I know it's gonna be good, man. I know it is, especially going through all the shit that he went through in his life. I know it's gonna be great. What's that? Maria. What up? Glad you was able to make the live. Maria, if I'm pronouncing your name right, salute to you. Glad you was able to make it, man. Hey, but like I was telling y'all, it was a number of different incidents that went on in that Crip module. It was a lot of dangerous dudes. There was a lot of fights. It was a lot of stabbings. Like I told y'all, we ended up getting into it with the police behind that same guy, that same police fireball that came and saved the guy that got stabbed by Baby L Dog. You know what I'm saying? He came up in there and I think it started over him cutting the phones off or something, right? Now, that's all we got in there. You feel me? You go to the roof, which is supposed to be the yard, once every 6 months, it seemed like, right? If you get that, you feel me? And in the LA County jail, once you go up on the roof, you can see all the downtown LA. You can see like off in the distance, you know what I'm saying? All the downtown LA. So you sitting way up on top of this roof, you know what I'm saying? Looking over all the downtown LA and shit, and it's like gates on top of that area, and then it's a long wall full of phones, wall phones. DC5 Con Griffin from the DOR. Okay, for sure. Salute to you. Glad you was able to make the live. Oh, that's bro, man. What's up, Brody? For sure, man. Glad you was able to make the live. Salute to you. Dalmo Robbins say, yeah, I'm gonna get Cuz for sure. Never hit the line with Cuz, but I heard about him. Added to my library. Oh yeah. Hey, Dalmo. Hey, man. Very, very authentic. You know what I'm saying? Real dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't express that enough. And it's crazy because it seemed like all the people that I know that's on YouTube, right? that I know personally, these dudes are real dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like really, really from where they're from and has a lot of influence and they're using their influence for good. I ain't seen nobody jump out there and be on no bunk shit that I personally know. Not one person. You feel me? And that's wonderful. That's a testament to that era that I came up in. And like I told y'all, I've been around a whole bunch of real dudes, just like yourself, Damo. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine your caliber, the caliber of person that you are. It's the same with Hoover Gumby, Damian Porter, 16 to Life, Coach Zoe, man, each and everybody that I know personally on here, all the same caliber, like real dudes, bro. You feel me? And actually using their platforms for good to build their community and not destroy that shit. You feel me? I can't wait for that book either, though. I swear to God, that's going into the collection. And what's crazy is I know it's gonna be a lot of stuff in there that I already personally know about. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I can't wait for it to come out. You feel me? I actually see I lost a lot of my stuff going in and out the shoes and in and out the holes and stuff, right? But I actually had some stuff in here from Gumby. Some stuff like when on the music stuff that me and him was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But I lost a lot of my stuff. We used to call him the Great Gumbino. Not a lot of people know that name. The Great Gumbino. But yeah, man, that LA County jail was different. It was extremely dangerous. And like I said, when we got into it with the police, it was behind that one guy, Fireball. I think he came and cut the phones off on us, and that's all we had. So bam, when he did that, I think he got hit with a couple of stink bombs. Ran him off the tier. So when that happened, he called in reinforcement, right? And they ended up doing some bullshit. Um, they ended up coming in there snatching us out, and they searched everybody's cell in there, and they took everybody's property, your pictures, your paperwork, your food, your cosmetics, all your personal stuff, and mixed it all in with everybody. Now imagine this, man. You got hundreds of dudes in there. So imagine hundreds of dudes that's in there that got all their own personal stuff and everything, pictures, paperwork, everything, all get in one pile, right? They do that and then they wet everything down, right? So bam, when that happened, bam, now niggas in there hot, niggas mad. Young Trigger Bird, what's up, bro? Salute to you, send my love and respect to you as always, man. That's Young Bro, man. Y'all go subscribe to Young Trigger Bird channel, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. We can get that in, Trigger Bird. You got that coming off the top, Brody. For sure. You got that coming off the top. Straight up. No second guessing or any of that. Off the top. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Hoover Gumby's channel. Checking ain't cheating as well, bro. But yeah, these fools, they take all our property and mix it all in together, right? Bam, we in there hot. Then they got this bullshit ass Porter dude that we used to call Rocks in Your Mouth, a smoker ass nigga from downtown LA somewhere, right? Oh yeah, all the time, Trigger Bird. You already know, bro. You got that coming off the top. For sure. You know, I got a ton of love and respect for you. You feel me? You are one of the young ones that's in this YouTube space, man, that's actually doing everything right. I respect it all. You feel me? Straight up. Smart, intelligent, on point with everything. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not surprised by that. Just based off of your upbringing and the people that has something to do with your upbringing. That's a fact. For sure, bro. I appreciate that. And likewise. For sure. I appreciate that. Likewise. All real ones got to stick together. We all got to stick together, bro. Straight up. Hey, but yeah, man. So this fool is up in there. He's sticking all our we see this motherfucker, right? While they got us in the hallway, handcuffed and out there beating our ass. I'm talking about the sheriff, right? This motherfucker is going up in there and walking out with big pockets full of our shit, right? So we like, oh hell no. Nah. He ever fuck up and make the mistake of coming down this tier, he's getting stabbed, right? And he knew, but one day he fucked up and came down that tier. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Rocks in your mouth got his ass toe up. Straight up. And then he went upstairs and got it too. That's a fact. Triggerbird said, yeah, my big speak highly of you. For real, for real. Hey, man. Hey, Big T Bird. Big T Bird is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. He's the truth. That's a person that, and I've been knowing him since I was young. I met him way back in 1994. I think I was what, 21 then, right? Bro, when he was behind these walls, that was a very, very, very dangerous brother, period. Extremely dangerous, but he was a real one. You know what I'm saying? He was a real one, you know, and he stood on what he stood on. You know what I'm saying? Just know, when you see bro pushing around and he got that orange rag tied around his neck, somebody getting stabbed. Point blank, period. That was Big T Bird. All day, every day. You feel me? But definitely a real one right there, man. All love and respect for Brody. For real, for real. Damo Robbins said Trigger Bird solid. Absolutely. He absolutely is. That's a young homie right there, man, that I can look at and be proud of, that's in this YouTube space doing what he doing. Because it's not you have old fools that's jumping out there that's not as educated as you would think they should be at a certain age. So when you have somebody that's young, like bro, like young Trigger Bird, that you know present himself the way that he does, you know what I'm saying? He almost got like an old soul. You know what I mean? So it makes it a lot more easier and smoother to be able to embrace somebody like that. I'm always open to embrace somebody like that. That's a fact. Face the music. What up, Brody? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Send my love and respect. He said T-Bird, my old celly. Oh, y'all was cellies? Trigger Bird say, yeah, he was my celly. LOL. He always got that jacket on, huh? Always had that jacket on, bro. Right? Hey, T-Bird. And love to drink. You know what I'm saying? Every time, bro. You can catch T-Bird, bro. Right? He got some drink. Always. You know what I'm saying? And a big ass knife on him. You know what I mean? A big ass knife on him. And will not hesitate to pull that trigger. Period. That's why they call him Trigger Bird. Right? That's a fact. Right? Hey, Face, I didn't know y'all was cellies. Trigger Bird say, nah, I ain't forget. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Trigger Bird say, nah, I ain't forget about where I came from. Y'all set the standards. Yeah, man. Hey, bro. Hey, anytime I'm able to encounter a young homie that suck up the game like that, you know what I'm saying, and then put it back into the atmosphere the way that it's supposed to be, because the young people will be able to take that in better from somebody that's more in their age bracket, rather than look at an old nigga like me and be like, oh, this old bald head four-eyed nigga is always saying this and saying that. They will be able to take it. So that's the importance of having a younger voice. So I encourage the young dudes, if y'all, if it's harder for y'all to accept whatever's being said from me, Go to Young Trigger Bird, bro. Go to his page, subscribe to his page, and the same message is there. The same message that a lot of us old heads that's on here that's trying to deliver to y'all is right there with bro too. And he does it in such a respectable manner. Straight up. Oh, hey, Face, y'all was sellies on the A yard. Me and Bird ended up being sellies for about a week. On the A yard, I don't remember him being on the B yard. Oh, and Kern. Oh, so that must have been right before he went home. Didn't he go home from there? Yeah, that must have been right before. LOL, that's the rules, bro. I talked to him yesterday, but nah, bro, you know we understand attack, man. I faced a lot, a lot sticking to the script, but fuck it though. Just let me know we different in this YouTube shit. Ah, yeah, for sure, Brody. For sure, for sure. You already know, Young Trigger Bird. Oh, okay. He left from Lancaster. Okay, okay. Oh, okay, okay. He said that's how he went home. Okay, for sure, for sure. Thank me later. What's up, Brody? Salute to you. He said, do you know Yo Yo from Long Beach? I remember that name. I remember that name. I remember that name. Yo Yo. I do remember that name, man. Oh, he went home from the B yard in Lancaster. Okay. Hey, when I seen Triggerbird get out of prison, right? I knew it was hope for all of us because bro, like I said, very, very dangerous man behind the walls, man. And he got quite a few, you know, he was putting in a lot of work, just put it that way. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen him out, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be hope for all of us. For real, for real. I'm glad bro made it out though, man. That's some real shit. I'm glad he made it out. Hey, thank me later. I was in the cell with Big Willie Gators from Long Beach. If you ever heard of him, he was supposed to be like one of the founding fathers for Long Beach, man. I actually had to try to get in contact with him too, as a matter of fact. Face the Music said, I went to the hole. Oh, you went to the hole? Oh, okay. Nah, Young Triggerbird said he paroled from Lancaster, from the B yard. Oh, Face the Music said he explained the board hearing politics to me. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, shit. They let out a lot of the older guys, man, that's been doing all these years, all this time, you know. You just gotta have your mind right. You know what I'm saying? You got to have your mind right, man. Especially if you're going before that board. If you relying on that board, you got to have your mind right. Can't go in there with the same criminal way of thinking that you can beat their system, and their system is designed like 5 steps ahead of us. I say that all the time. Triggerbird said, man, ask Will G about me. That's my boy, man. For real, for real. I love Will. His brother, Big CJ, insane. Rest in peace. Yeah, yeah. For sure. I'm gonna get in contact with him. Somebody had got in contact with him. I can't remember, and he was telling them to tell me to get in contact with him, to call him. Right. I gotta see if I got his number in my phone book somewhere. I'm gonna have to check that later when I'm done with this. But I'm gonna definitely tell him about you, Trigger Bird. I got you. For real, for real. I got you, Brody. Face the Music said Willie Gaithers and Chico Bill started Long Beach Crip. Hey, you know what's crazy about that, Face, right? What's crazy about that is I ran into some little young insanes, right? I ain't gonna say their name, but I ran into them and I was telling them that, right? Man, blew my mind their response to that. But of course, these was baby insane, so they, they do them, I guess. Trigger Bird say Free Will G showed me the gang in prison. I was a wild one. Hey man, bro, he used to be tripping. He was after his brother got killed. Oh man, he was hell bent on catching any person that has something to do with that. Any person. That's no cap. All he did was work out. In the cell, all he did was work out and eat all day. Face the Music say they were uneducated on the history of. Yeah, they was, bro. They really was. That's no bullshit. Triggerbird say with Tay. Yeah, yep. Yep. Thank me later. No Mac Mafia's on the line after that. Hey, that's who he was looking for. That's no bullshit. And he wasn't bullshitting at all. He was on, they put him on he was on C status. They had him on two different losses of programs, C status and BMU, right? He wanted that specifically, so he would be able to get certain times to go out to the yard. So if he found out that any of them hit the yard, they was done. He was on a cold one, on C status. Yeah, C status. Yep. Triggerbird say with that long ass beard. Yep, that long ass beard. Yep. He kept that motherfucker braided up. Facts. Facts. OG Willie Gaither, man. He's a G. Hey, the crazy thing about it, like Goldie Loke and all the dudes from Long Beach that know about him, they show him love. You know what I'm saying? So it blew my mind when I ran into these baby insanes and I'm telling them, I'm like, yeah, your homie Willie Gaither. They like, man, they said they was on some other stuff, bro. But I know that these are younger dudes that don't know their history, like you said, Face. But yeah, the people that was involved in his brother's death, they had it hard in prison. I ain't gonna lie, bro. And that's not speaking bad on them, but nigga laugh like the joke. Face, you crazy, bro. You crazy. He say I laugh like the Joker, y'all. Triggerbird say Willie don't care about going home. That broke my heart cause he was like, Bird, I don't know nobody out there. Hey, yeah, he was on some other shit. Katie Nitty, Luda Parks. What's up, bro? Shout out to the Luda Parks. Glad you made the live, Brody. Hey, Triggerbird, yeah, man. He was, but imagine that though. Being in prison all that time, all those years. You know what I'm saying? And Because it's a whole lot of people I don't know. I've been in prison 31 years now, right? It's a whole bunch of them young dudes I don't know that don't know me. You know what I'm saying? So I understand it. I get it. It gets like that. Unfortunately, it gets like that because I would love to have a better connection with them dudes. You know, to at least give them a idea of where you could possibly go wrong to fuck your life up. You know what I'm saying? And I think it would be a lot more digestible for them to hear it coming from somebody that comes from their environment. You know what I mean? But eventually the message will get through. Eventually. Damu Robin said it's not important to these YNs to know the history like it was for us. That's facts. That is so true, Damu. That is so true because it was definitely important to know your history, to know the ins and outs of everything when it comes to that lifestyle of which you're getting into. And if you didn't know, these old dudes would actually clown you about certain shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what this is, and you don't know who started this and who did that. That's where you get your history lesson in at. But I don't know, man. These guys is different these days. Tripbird said he been down like 30 something years too. Yeah. KD Nitty say you programming, push-ups, burpees, dips. Hey, KD Nitty, man. I've told the story, right, a few times about how I used to work out. Now, how I used to work out is nothing compared to now, right? The only place you would be able to talk to me on the yard was on the weight pal. If I wasn't playing basketball, I'm on the weight pal. You know what I'm saying? And the burpees, the burpees I did more when I was in the hole. You feel me? And that was back when me and Hoover Gumby was in the hole together. When you had Big Hoover Hawk, rest in peace, from 9-4. You had T Bull from 190 East Coast. You had Tank from OVG. It was a number of homies back there in the hole. We had a cold machine going. You know what I'm saying? Triggerbird said another one had my back. I'd J-Lo Crenshaw Mafia Jimmy. Oh, okay. Crenshaw Mafia. KD Nitty say the same dudes you trying to kill on the streets will save your life in the pen. Absolutely. I've told the story about being in the riot with when just recently when I was in High Desert and we got into that riot with the Nortes and I'm sitting there by myself when 5 of them is running at me with knives, right? And how I jumped up, started fighting for my life, and then next thing I know, a couple of Crips came, a couple of more Crips came, then you hear all the bloods. Let's get these niggas blood. Let's get them blood. And they got cracking side by side with us. That's a fact. Yeah. That's how it be, bro. That's where you really learn who is who in them rides. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Cause when it's cracking, it's all hands on deck. You know, I can't be sitting in a vicinity where it's popping at, whether it's a Crip or blood, and not get cracking. It's just not gonna happen, especially if it's some racial shit. You know what I'm saying? Triggerbird said, "Do you know Coop from Raymond? Big or little?" No, I don't think I ever ran across the Coops. I've heard them. I've heard the name before, but I don't think I ever ran across them. Face the Music said, "Hoover Lawn in the hole with DT is a stupid workout set." Oh my God! Hey man, Big DT, Big Dantana, and Hoover Lawn had cold workout hands, straight up. Right? Big DT was crazy. Big Dantana's a big ass dude, bro. A big ass dude, bro. Triggerbird said, fact, the riot show you Me and Big was in one together. Oh yeah, man. Dalmu Robbins say, stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. Facts. ET got love for him. Hey, yeah, Big Dan Tanner, bro. The last time I seen him, we was going to court. We was going to Imperial Court. Right? And we sitting inside the courtroom, and he clowning me because my lawyer looked like a weirdo. He like, man, he said, you might fuck around and lose your case. Look at your dumb looking lawyer, cuz. He like, this motherfucker don't look like he know what the fuck he talking about. Katie Nitty say, any Compton Pyros in there with you? I'm almost positive it is. There's none in my building. I'm almost positive there's some Compton Pyros around here though. Triggerbird said that was Lonnie Crimey. Yup. At that time when me and DT, when we was going to court, Hoover Lawn was all right. We all was in Calipatria, right? When they was fighting their case, they had took Hoover Lawn down to the Imperial County Jail, I think, or it was either the Imperial County Jail or the El Central County Jail. So he was supposed to have been going home, but that they ended up catching that case, so they took him down there to the county jail, I believe, and had him down there. And DT was still fighting shit from Calipat. So we was going to court together. He said, Bird said, you ran into Skinny Roo from Lime Hood? Nuh-uh. I don't know Skinny Roo. Lime Hood Pyru. Clip God, he said, how long you been down, OG? I've been down 31 years, bro. 31 years straight. 31 years too damn long. You feel me? But we looking forward to my freedom soon, bro, because they letting more and more people out. Thankfully, they've changed the laws to, our benefit. Thankfully, especially the dudes that have been down all these years like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think, it's getting close. My case is in the courts right now as we speak. Face the Music said DY held Gumby down through that whole situation. Oh yeah, man. Hey, Gumby had it cracking. Bro. I'm telling you, everything that we was able to do was because of Gumby. You feel me? We man, hey bro, y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know, bro. Everything that we had going on, everything was because of Gumby. Katie Nitty said, you don't even realize it. You're showing strength. Your spirit's up. The system didn't break you. Hey, bro, hey, it's a blessing. I've always wanted to be my mom's always told me to face everything, no matter what it was. If I was wrong, if I was right, stand up and face it. You're going to get through it. Eventually, you're going to get through it, but you got to stand up and face it. And I've always just let that stick out in my mind. So being that I was blessed enough to not allow the walls to close in on me and read, educate myself, take my mind, let my mind adventure into those books and stuff, soak everything up. I've always wanted to be a better version of myself. When I was on the street, I never gave myself that opportunity like that. But when you're forced to sit down like this, right, you got all the time in the world. You're going to either become a better version of yourself or you're going to allow yourself to rot. You know what I'm saying? And I just believe that my purpose is greater than all this. This gang banging shit, this prison shit. That's why I don't encourage it. I don't come on here tripping on no gang banging shit. You know what I'm saying? I invite I invite everybody, Bloods included. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with, man, come on, bro. You know what I mean? So I cannot come here, right, and be a false representative. You feel me? Especially when I have it already in my mind when I get out of here, I'm going to be on the same mission. It's just going to be greater. I'll be able to maneuver around the way that I want to. You know what I mean? And I will be able to get into the doors that I know that I will be able to get into once I'm out of here. You feel me? Because the push is authentic. I'm not gonna be one of those dudes like you see all these other motherfuckers that was in prison that may have had a YouTube channel while they was in prison, praising this and praising that and speaking, speaking these good talks to the kids and then get out and be on some other shit. That ain't gonna happen, bro. If by chance that do, everybody please unsubscribe. You know what I'm saying? And call me all the fakest motherfuckers in the world. Period. It's not gonna happen. The purpose is greater than all this. This 31 years has to account for something. That's 31 years that I would never be able to get back that was taken out of my life. All the deaths, the people's funerals that I wasn't able to attend, all the people that I had to watch grow up through photographs and shit, the people that I would never be able to have conversations with again, all that, that's lost. That's lost. There's nothing to be proud of when it comes to this prison or gang shit. That's why I don't come on here promoting it. And I never will. Never. Face the Music said DTB. Yeah, he beat it. He definitely beat it. Trigger Bird say, I know you was with Al from, Al from the Tray. Oh yeah, I was with a whole bunch of, I was with a whole bunch of the homies from the Tray. Real talk. Clip God say, praise be to Allah. Get out here and stay productive. Keep it solid, OG. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. With people like y'all, bro, it makes it a lot more. It's showing me that the purpose is greater than any of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Point blank period. Y'all helping me more than you realize it. Y'all might think I come here and I contribute what I can to the public, trying to help them, but y'all helping me too, bro. It's a two-way street. That's a fact. Clip God said, what's the plan when you touch down? How we moving forward? Well, I've already said that, right? I've already spoke about that, but like I said, I want to hook up with the guy Scott Butnick, you know what I'm saying, or somebody of that caliber that is working on prison reform, and because all the changes that we seeing in prison as far as dudes having tablets and these different programs, all that comes from him. And this is a guy that is he make movies. He made the Hangover movies and all that stuff, right? And he's the one that got Kim Kardashian and LeBron James and John Legend and all these people on his prison reform board. So when y'all see a Kim Kardashian going to different prisons and all that, trying to represent different dudes that's incarcerated or falsely accused, she's up under his prison reform board. You feel me? That's where I want to get out and get attachments to. You feel me? I have to make all this account for something, bro. It's not me doing all this time. It's not going to be done in vain. It's not. I would never, no, it's not going to be done in vain. KD Nitty say, I tell the youngsters to work out and get your money. Absolutely, man. Mind, body, and soul, everything has to be enriched and strong. You know what I'm saying? Even if our systems is in some way tainted, right? We can always take all that out and refresh. You know what I'm saying? And start that purity over again. But it has to be up here. It has to be up here, and it has to be in your heart, bro. You know what I mean? And that's the only way that it's gonna work. That's the only way that it's gonna work. I'm growing as a man. I've grown as a man. From all the hardcore gang banging stuff up until what you see now and what you will see in the future. I don't see it getting nothing but better, truthfully. Adrian Cook, what's up, bro? I send my love and respect to you. Salute. I'm glad you was able to make the live, man. All love, you already know. Yeah, man. All this is definitely going to count for something, bro. I promise you. You know, and again, I salute all the real ones that do have platforms, that's utilizing their platforms, man, to try to encourage people out there with so much trash and garbage going on online. We need more voices, more strong voices. Why would we want to take away strength? You got people out there that's actually trying to take away strength, bro, because they fear truth. They fear strength. They fear togetherness. People that encourage the divide and conquer shit, I try to stay away from it. I try to stay away from it. It's almost like cutting the fat off the meat. You have to. You feel me? So if you see dudes, if you see another strong person that's doing great things, encourage that more. We need more encouragement. Don't take it away. Why would you want to shut that down? Don't take it away. We need more of that. There's too much foulness that's trying to get in and take over. You feel me? And I'm just the person, man. I want to see strength. So when I'm at the age to where it's time for me to just sit completely down, where I'm able to not do no more, I want to know that these young dudes got me. I want to know and feel confident that when I need them, I know they got me. Katie Nitty said, Suge Knight misguided my G homies, looters, and the mob should own every house on Bullis Road. Oh man. Hey, Katie Nitty, that's deep. That is deep, bro. Because I'm an outsider looking in on that, right? And the only thing that I can say, being an outsider looking in on that, is y'all had the greatest situation that a community could have. But that situation ended up breaking y'all up, dividing y'all, and had y'all, going at it with each other. And what you just said, that's absolute fact. That is absolute fact, bro. But that's coming from a outsider looking in on that situation. I don't know all the ins and outs of, what went on in that situation, nor am I qualified to speak on any of that stuff. However, hey man, all that money, the great opportunities and doors that was open and could have still been open to this day for y'all whole community, for the whole city of Compton, period. Compton has produced some of the greatest historical people, that the world has come to know. That's a fact. Adrian Cook said, the fake can never take over because their stories are always someone else's fault. Yep. They always take no responsibility. That is the realest ish ever, bro. Adrian Cook, you called that right on the money. That is a fact. Katie Nitty said, I seen how they protected him, put their life on the line. Yeah, man. Oh, hey. Again, Katie Nitty, I'm an outsider looking in, but I've seen all the documentaries. I've seen everything that everybody else seen online, right? And it's just crazy, man. All the deaths, all the division. Shit crazy, bro. It's crazy. I've always said, though, if you take certain people and you give $1 million to certain people, not all, but certain people, you give $1 million to certain people, they're going to find 1,000,000 ways to fuck off that $1 million rather than take it and build generational wealth. Always, for whatever reason. I don't know why we do that. I don't know why, bro. And I have to say, we as a people, unfortunately. Dalmu Robbins said, my OG passed away in 2019. I've been home 5 years. And he told me and my brother he proud of us and happy he be able to see us figure out life in advance. Oh yeah, man. That's deep, Damo. That's deep. Hey, at least you was able to get that acknowledgement from him before he passed away. At least you was out there, right? I wish some of my people that is no longer here on earth could see what I went from to what I'm trying to become now. Right? I wish some of my people that is no longer here on earth can actually come and attend this platform. Come sit at this round table, right? Because I know they would have been great in their life or was great in their life. You know, I think about that all the time. Like, damn, man, I wish this person could see what I've been able to do. Although I'm in a fucked up position right now, what I've been able to do, I wish they can see it. I wish they can have some parts of this. I wish they can come and I can get advice from them. You know, I can talk to them. Just a simple conversation. I would never be able to get that. They would never be able to see this. That's what I mean by I'm not, this 31 years is not going to be done in vain, bro. Not at all. Not at all. And I'm still growing. I still have growth to do. Damu said, and it let me know if changed. Face the Music said, you can't give the keys to the mansion to monkeys. They don't understand what a mansion is. That's a cold one right there, Face, but that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. My thing is this. With that, how do we educate? Because some people end up in those situations. The monkey will end up actually with the keys to the mansion without the proper knowledge on how to manage that mansion. So do you think it's an educational thing? Do you think that we need to encourage more education up on the youth, so when they find themselves in a position, because it seems like it's always, I've heard stories about Suge. I don't know him personally, right? But from what I've heard, he didn't know how to really read or write. But yet and still, he ran a multi-million-dollar record company. You feel me? So do we have to encourage more education? I encourage education all day, every day. I tell these dudes, hey man, it's actually cool to be smart. Do not allow no dummy to discourage you from picking up a book and bettering yourself, educating yourself. Don't do that. Don't do that. You want to be able to sit down at any table with anybody and be able to conversate and be respected for having a decent conversation and understanding. Katie Nitty said Nip was trying to show LA to buy back your hood, but his own took him out. Man. Yeah, man. That's a cold situation. Hey, every time I listen to the music, right, and you see the greatness in him, you know, you see where his mind state was at just from, I didn't know him personally, but just seeing different videos and interviews of him and then listening to his music and seeing how articulate he was, right, and where the level that he was on when it came to his ways of thinking, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, bro, that community got robbed, his family got robbed, his kids got robbed. I don't even think he reached his full potential on what he was trying to accomplish. Nowhere near it. But again, greatness got shut down. A great mind, a great spirited person that was actually trying to rebuild his community, that was actually on the path of doing something right, showing people how to do it. So you absolutely right, KD Nitty. You right, Brody. I think about myself, the path that I'm on. Like, damn, man, I know it's mother people that want to, silence me. You feel me? Because greatness is a threat. It always will be perceived as a threat. Period. Face the Music said, "Gotta show the smart monkeys an example on how monkeys can change." Then he put a whole bunch of money. Oh man, hey, that's real. Somebody got to be the example, right? Somebody got to be the example, man. And I think, those of us that have platforms like different business ventures and stuff like that, man, we have to be those examples. Whether we want that responsibility or not, we have to be a better example to give these young dudes something to look up to and respect more, rather than just speaking at them. And you know what I'm saying? You have to be the example sometime. Dexter Robinson, what's up, bro? Salute to you. I'm glad you was able to make the live, man. I send my love and respect to you, Brody. Face the Music said Nip was a Crip phenom, the original Crip spirit and program in the right time. Yeah, man. He was definitely different from what I gathered. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. That's real. Katie Nitty said, "Just think, Suge had Tupac, Dre, Snoop, DJ Quick under one roof. How you fuck that off?" That goes back, hey KD, that goes back to what I just said. You give a dude $1 million, he's gonna find a million different ways to fuck that $1 million off, right? And that comes from being kind of, I guess, one track minded, because Suge was muscle. You know what I'm saying? He was muscle. He wasn't probably the brightest bulb on the tree, education wise, because it, look at it like this. Let's just say let's just say that was a white man that had all those artists that you just named in their hands. What they would have been able to accomplish with all, then us looking on that would have been like, he's a culture vulture. But here it is, we got a black man, right, that had all those artists, and look how everything crumbled. Crazy. Crazy, bro. Crazy, bro. I would never understand that. I would never understand that. Never. Never. Crazy. I had the same question that you have, KD. How do you fuck all that off, bro? How? I've had that question for years. How? Damu Robin said, no management skills. None. None. Dexter Robinson said, should the face of when keeping it real goes wrong. Yeah. Hey man, the predicament that Suge ended up in after you go from, just like KD just pointed out, having all these great historical legendary artists in the palm of your hands, making all those millions and millions of dollars, built a historical legendary record company. You go from that to doing 20 something years in prison. He's sitting in a cell like this. He's sitting in the same kind of jail cell that I'm sitting in right now. And this is a nigga that had millions of dollars, that had Tupac, that had Dr. Dre, that had Snoop Dogg, that had the Dog Pound, that had DJ Quick, that had all these great artists, bro. You go from having all that to being in a fucking prison cell like me? And here it is. I'm in a prison cell at the bottom of the cesspool, trying to climb my way up out of it and encourage my people not have to put themselves in that same predicament. It's crazy. I would never understand it, bro. Crazy. Face the Music said, how you not gonna fuck that off? Gotta think deeper about the pieces on the death row board. KD said, didn't have a thinker like the Santanas had OG Turtle that was used to running a multi-million-dollar operation. Hey, I seen a documentary on OG Turtle too, man. And I was fascinated by his interviews, how articulate he was, and how he was very, very well received by not just people out of Compton, but all over. Right? Coming from where he came from with his background and his history. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. The difference between him and then the difference in how Suge was, the type of person he was. John Connor, what's up, bro? Salute to you. Glad you was able to make the live. He said, crazy work. Yes, it is, bro. Face the Music said, no one man outside of Phil Jackson has proven to be able to coach that kind of team. Phil Jackson had that zen. Phil Jackson had that zen. He created that triangle, right? Phil Jackson was also white. You feel me? Otto G33, he said, how you feeling, my brother, man? I'm feeling blessed. You feel me? I'm feeling blessed that I'm here at this round table with my round table family, man, with this great conversation going on with all my brothers here. Man, it's been wonderful. It's been great. It's a blessing. How you feeling, Brody? Dexter Robinson said, are there any black record label owners in existence? I'm wondering, is it the system, like how they limit us owning sport teams? Black record. Hey, Face would know the answer to that. He would know that better than me. He said Pep was Turtle's right-hand man at a time. Oh, okay. Hey, Face, is it any black record label owners? I can't think of none right offhand. Katie Nitty said, we surrounded the Santanas. They survived using their brains and boosting their hood economy. Damn, that's deep. That's deep. And the loot is as deep as a motherfucker too. Otto G. Jake Brown. I know you know all about this topic, Jake. I know you know. Jake Brown said, OG Turtle, help me, good brother. Yeah, I knew you was gonna know about him. I've heard nothing but great things about him, man. I've heard nothing but great things about him. Him and OG Gangster from Santana. They said Phil Jackson operated out of peace, a successful strategy. Suge chose violence. Violence always begets violence. That's true. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true, Face. That's absolutely true. That's a cold ass comparisons because those are two completely different strategies. Um, it's kind of like the tortoise racing the rabbit. Rabbit fast as a motherfucker. You think the rabbit is gonna win because he's so fast, and the tortoise is slow, sturdy, and consistent. Eventually, the rabbit ran out of gas, and the tortoise just walked his way right to the finish line. That's facts. Katie Nitty said TDE doing their thing. The Nickersons and the West Side Pyrus rich right now. They absolutely are. Salute to TDE, man. And that label has been around a long, long time. You feel me? A long time. Kendrick, J Rock, I think Schoolboy Q. Um, they got a cold lineup over there, and they've been consistent. You know, they ain't been they label and the label mates ain't been getting caught up in no BS and none of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need. You don't need all the controversy and shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't need all the shit that Suge had going on by, like Face pointed out, all the violence and shit. A lot of violence. A lot. A lot. That's what really fucked up everything for him. Those not really being thinkers, just all muscle. Face the Music said Master P, Tech Nine, Top Dog. Okay. Record, yeah. Label owners. True. Dexter Robinson said, to me, it answers the age-old question. Is it better to be feared or loved? Talking about the Phil Jackson versus Suge approach. But I always say you don't want people scared of you like that because a scared motherfucker will kill you. Scared person would definitely try to get you out the way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. Like you wanna meet somewhere right in the middle, I guess. I don't know. But you have the comparisons to Suge and Phil. Phil got all those rings. Suge, he made historical moves, but Suge is in prison for what he's in prison for. So Phil is free. He got rings. He's rich. Historical legend. So I probably would rather push more the Phil Jackson side than the Suge side. Face the Music said it's better to be loved. Absolutely. Absolutely. Katie Nitty say, I remember Top as a youngster. He was under Bounty Hunter Rat Dog. Oh, that was his name? That was Top Dog name? Bounty Hunter Rat Dog? Face the Music said, scared person will kill you. That's what I just said. A loved person will only be blessed. Easy button. Yeah, man. I would much rather have people loving me than, being in fear of me, because again, a person that fear you is unpredictable. That's an unpredictable enemy. A unforeseen, unpredictable enemy. Because a person can fear you from afar. So yeah, that's true. That is very true. Hey man, but look, I gotta get up out of here. So I'm finna get ready to let y'all get back to the rest of y'all night. It's been an absolute pleasure, man, coming to this round table, having all my round table family show up, man. Hey, y'all make this platform what it is, man. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all of y'all. Shout out to Hoover Gumby, my bro, man. I love you, bro. Shout out to Young Trigger Bird. I send my love and respect to you as well, young bro. Shout out to my boy Face the Music. Shout out to my boy Damu Robbins. Shout out to everybody that jumped in the chat, man. Shout out to Odium Slim. Shout out to the Damu Keyway Conversation, Deuce M's and Yael. Shout out to Damian Porter over at the Inside Story. Shout out to my bro 16 to life, man. And shout out to all the real ones that's out there. If I didn't mention you, please don't be offended. You know, we got to stand together, bro. You know, we got to stand together, continue to build on greatness for all our communities, you know, and we got to put the scenario back exactly where it's supposed to be and not allow ourselves to be devoiced by the watered down fake versions of what our existence is, what the true existence is. You feel me? Straight up. KD Nitty, man, hey man, I appreciate you, my Brody. For real, for real. I'm glad you came, you participated, you made the live, man. All love, all respect, my Damu brother, for real, for real. Salute to you, man. Straight up. But yeah, I'm finna get up out of here, let y'all get back to the rest of y'all night. We will be back here tomorrow, same time, same bat station, man. Y'all take care, y'all stay safe out there, bro. The world is getting more and more dangerous. It's, you know, unfortunate on the things that has been happening, that's been transpiring. You know, everybody just be careful out there, man. You feel me? Let the people that's in your life know you love and appreciate them while you can, because as we've been seeing, tomorrow is not promised to none of us. You feel me? That's a fact. And you know, anytime we are able to come to this round table and we meet and greet each other as we do, it's a blessing. It's another blessed day. You feel me? So again, thank you all, man, for y'all participation. Love and appreciate you all. To the next time we meet at this round table, I love all y'all. Triple gang.